I've got some big news! Bigger than the ending for One Piece, bigger than the cure for cancer, and almost as big as your mom. It's Big News Morgan's birthday, and yes, it's Morgan's. Not to be confused with Axehead Morgan, who doesn't even have an S. Wait, Big News Morgans is head of the World Economy newspaper. That is the main source of news for everyone in the One Piece world, and that means he controls the truth of what happens and controls reality itself. It's the reason Big Mom had to bow down to him and invite him to her little political wedding because it's not real, unless Big News says it's real. Oh, Luffy beat Crocodile and saved Alabasta? Nuh-uh. Because according to the news, Smoker destroyed Crocodile while Luffy got his bounty raised because of tax evasion. Gecko Moria isn't dead? Well, I read that in the newspaper he was dead, so he must be dead. Besides, Gecko Moria has pretty much been dead for a long time on the inside because of the part where his entire crew was slaughtered by an Emperor of the Sea, who was only declared Emperor because of Big News Morgans. That's right. This Birdman declares who's going to be the next Emperor. Oh, you think it has something to do with the territory or power or whatever, but no. Luffy only became Emperor because Big News was like, hey, I like this kid. You're an Emperor now. So you best bow down to the true master of the verse. Now, you may think this is just some pencil-pushing nerd who's a puppet to the world government, but that's nowhere near true. Sure, you may think that the world government can bribe him, then he does what they want. But no, 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 no. It is more of an offering, because when he really, really wants to publish a story, he doesn't let the government stop him. The world government didn't want him to publish a story, and when he refused their offering, the Cypher Pole agent tried to kill him, and Morgans one-shot him. Now, you might think, oh no, this is just some random Cypher Pole agent, but this may be the new top dog of CP9. Think about it. CP9 was known for integrating and impersonating people, and this guy did just that. Morgans had no idea how he got on his payroll. What's more is this man specializes in assassination like CP9. CP8 agents like Alpha act more as intimidating bodyguards instead of assassins. Now you may think just pulling a gun on him isn't the best assassination technique for CP9, but keep in mind this is what they did to Iceberg. They shot him and ordered him to give them something they wanted, just like this guy. So it is the exact same pattern as CP9. Now you may think, but CP9 has weak members like Spandam. But that was an exception, not the rule, as Spandam got it through nepotism. So, our only logical conclusion that this is the new CP9 leader raised his birth to replace Rob Gucci and pals. So, one of Big News' Morgan's punches is as strong as pre-time skip Rob Gucci. And oh, he is strong enough to resist Big Mom's Conqueror's hockey if you had any doubt about his will. And you might think this is preposterous, but I'm not the only one preaching the lore of Big News Morgans. There are several fan theories that he was a member of the Rogers Pirates. So, after reading the various threads, a lot of them conclude that he is this guy, Mamora, because they usually look similar with the beak hat, the 3 dots on the head, and I'm throwing in my own little tidbit that if you combine Mamora and Gold Roger, you could get something sort of resembling Morgan's. So the theory is he's kind of guiding Luffy to publishing stuff. Now, if you combine all of this, you can kind of see where the theory has a little bit of legs, because most of the Roger Pirates are strong to beat Rob Lucci. They want to guide the next person to the One Piece. And I'm going to add this part on. Much like Rayleigh was the Dark Emperor and Buggy became an Emperor himself, Big News is an Emperor of the Underworld. So this could potentially check out for him being in favor of part of Roger's crew. Plus, there was an Egg on Roger's ship, and that maybe Morgan's according to some people. But let's look at some more evidence which contradicts this. Morgan's reported on God Valley, and as a result, he was either working for the world government or he was super deep undercover for Roger. Since this is young Morgan's, it wouldn't make much sense for him to be an emperor in the underworld at this time, and he was probably on the government payroll here as a reporter. But I think him reporting on God Valley may be a little hint into his tragic backstory. So, we know that Morgans loves a good scoop, and if he was at God Valley and only reported Garp's heroics, it is very possible that he became disillusioned with what he saw at God Valley. All the death and horrifics he had to cover up, which would be great material to publish. If you want to go even more horrific, then he is this bird that is being ridden by Fagarlin and it's about to slaughter people. Which, I mean, it's a point for how strong he is, and I guess a point for how bird-brained I can be. But that means he ate the albatross fruit at a young age, which takes with the central thought that he never leaves his hybrid form because he is hiding from the government the fact that he was a Roger pirate. But then what that means, Morgan just stayed in his bird form for the entirety of his tenure for working directly for the world government, which is kind of awesome if he was that dedicated to the bit. Basically, Morgan would have to double cross the world government, become a member of the Rogers crew, and then become an emperor of the underworld. And potentially, he could do this and have everyone forget he was a member of the Rogers Pirate because he controls the media, and the world government sees him as a necessary evil they have to work with. Morgan is probably smart enough to say he doesn't know what the One Piece is and just kind of bides his time for the Joy Boy to come. And I mean, him elevating his hybrid form may be just another dedication to the bit. And if you thought that Morgan hatched from the egg on Rogers' crew, that's kind of bird racist. Because he's not a bird, but just a human with a bird fruit. Unless he has the properties of Tamago, who's an egg that can go through the egg life cycle as a bird, which would be weird. But One Piece is weird. But this Roger theory may have some legs if it weren't for my theory about the birds. So, Morgan's is just one of a series of birds that is going to conquer the One Piece world and are actually the most powerful beings in the series. First, let's bring out the fact that Hattori, Rob Gucci's Hattori, is God in the One Piece world. I made a whole video about it years ago, and YouTube took it down along with my other 1,200 videos or so. Or maybe Oda did this himself because it was practically a video that spoiled the ending of One Piece. Maybe I'll remake that video someday. Anyways, Morgans realized that being a bird is better than being a human and refused to ever change back to being a human, but isn't fully bird mode because he has to be an ambassador for all bird to human people. That's why Morgans publishes what he wants, and he has all these fellow birds deliver the messages to the people. He also gets birds like the South Bird to help to directionally challenge Straw Hats. Him and Marco are allegedly bird bros, but look at all the One Piece bird characters that refuse to stay in hybrid form or stay bird-like. Pell literally took a nuke to the face. Marco is slowly watching everyone besides him slowly die. Definitely the work of the birds. We're also not counting dinos. The owner of the Itsumade Devil Fruit is destined to fail as well. So, the moral of the story is that if you cross birds, then Morgans and Hattori will murder you and everyone you love. So, with all that being said, happy birthday to the biggest, newsest birds, who may be the greatest, most powerful bird hybrid, who may have been a Rogers pirate, but it's also the master manipulator, the knowledge knower, the terrific truth weaver. Big news, Morgans.